Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, I don't remember if I've done readings for you before. I do so many, I don't remember everybody's name. Anyway, so I'd like to explain real quick kind of how this works. I feel, hear, see, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. I try to describe the picture the best I can. There is always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. Because you'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and they'll know what he's talking about. Because it's not an exact science, we communicate the best way we can. So sometimes you'll stretch it outside the box a little bit. He's not going to give me all the details. Details are none of my business. He should give me just enough so you understand what he's referring to. So this is his ball game. I leave it up to them to tell you what you need to know within reason. They have to be nice, and they're always nice. So we're going to talk to your dad. Wow, he comes in with this energy that's so full of love for you. So he says, I could just squish you. I could just hug you and squish you. So maybe he had like really big hugs, really strong hugs. And you should feel that. He can still hug you in a different way. You might feel that pressure of the arms around you. It could feel like just a warmth, like we're his energy arms. We don't need this old heavy body anymore. This is just our car, our vehicle to run around on earth in. Our spirit, our soul is inside. When we don't need this vehicle anymore, we still have the same spirit and soul. So that energy, everybody feels it different. It could feel like a warmth, like a squish. It could feel like tingling. He's showing me like where his arms would hug you and touch you. That's where you're going to feel it the most. You might feel the pressure on your back from it. He's showing his fist like pulling in on your back. So if you kind of feel like constricted all of a sudden, know that that's probably him. Or it could be real warm. Could be, but it could be very soft too. Just depends. It's up to him, and it's kind of up to the way you feel it. So he says, know that I still love you. Know that I will always love you. My love will never die. Love never dies. And what they've taught me is love is pure energy. Love is the highest form of energy. So the more we love, the higher the energy. According to what they've told me about quantum physics, which I know nothing about, energy doesn't die, it just changes form. So why they were making me explain it that way, I don't know. He says, know that I will always be with you, through thick and thin, deep or high. Again, he says thick or thin, squishy or non-squishy. I don't know why he said that. It's only for me to repeat. Maybe he always talked about squishing you all the time or something. You are so beautiful, inside and out. You're like a candle burning in the dark. You're such a bright spot in so many people's lives. Don't let anybody blow your candle out. Don't turn your back to your candle. It's like an eternal flame. And now he's showing me this candle, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the way he wants you to shine your light. Make it bigger. Don't ever let anybody make it smaller or blow it out. Because if they blow your candle out, I'm going to have to come have a talk with them. He's bobbing his head around like, yeah, like, leave her alone. Or I will come have a talk with them. He's definitely got the dad feel. He said towards the end he was getting very tired. And it's like I don't know if he did used to probably towards the end lay his head on your shoulder like he was just tired, or if he's doing that now, or both. Because you could feel maybe a little bit of pressure on your shoulder. Like the hair on top of his head, you might feel tickling on your cheek. Like a hair that you can't get off. Just as he lays his head on your shoulder. So you should feel both of those about the same time. The pressure could be as slight as if you laid a tea towel on your shoulder. Or it could be actual pushing on it. Just depends how he brings it through and how you receive it. He says, I appreciated everything you did for me. Everything. You were perfect. You were loved. I have no regrets. He'd say, tell her I love her, tell her I love her. Okay, he's saying it again. He loves you still. And love does not die. I promise you. And I promise you 1,000%, he can hear you, he can see you, talk to him all you want to. He will hear you. You don't have to talk out loud either. He says you did more than enough for him. He knows you have a busy life. He knows that you had a lot of responsibilities. And say it again. He didn't feel like he deserved to take you away from the things you needed to do in your life, from your responsibilities, because he felt like he didn't do enough for you when he was here. That he should have done way more. And even if he was the best dad in the whole wide world, this is how he felt about it. That he wished he had done more. He wished he could have done. Just the things that he looked back on, probably in his life review. We have a life review when we leave where we get to look back on all of our boo-boos in life and understand why they happened and what we could have done different. And this is one of his regrets. But also when we go to the other side, we get rid of there's no hate, there's no anger, there's no resentment, we just understand why things happen. We don't really hang on to a lot of regret. So don't think he's up there worrying about it. But it wouldn't hurt if you said you forgive him for maybe missing a school program or, things like that he might have felt bad about once he left. That he knows maybe things he should have done, made different arrangements. This is the way he's explaining it. No, through it all, I loved you above and beyond. I kind of took that for granted. And for that, I am sorry. Because you were always a beautiful child. Nothing lasts forever. Remember that. He's being very, very solemn. Very, very solemn. He said, in case you're wondering, there was nothing you could do to change the outcome. That was pretty much on me. Not sure what he means by that. Okay. He wants me to explain what I've been taught is before we come down here, we don't really come down here. That's really not. Anyway, easiest way to say it. We decide our exit point. It could be when you're 1 day old. It could be when you're 100 years old. Whatever that exit point that was predetermined can waver just a little bit, depending on what's going on with the people around us, what they're going to learn from our leaving or staying for a little bit more, whatever. But we're going to leave. It's kind of like when your number's up. I don't like that term, but some people understand it better when I say that. I really hate that term. So he wants you to know it was time. He felt very much at peace when he left. Very much at peace. When he left, he was met by somebody he's calling Granny. Now, it could be his grandma, it could be your grandma. Don't know whose Granny it is, but he's calling her Granny. Could be great Granny, too. She's a little bit plump. Very cheery lady. Of course, everybody back in that day cooked. Women, all the women cooked, but like a great cook. He's talking about her fried chicken. So he was very much at peace when he saw her. And he felt very safe. And he knew he was where he was supposed to be. Love the ones you've got while you've got them. Don't wait until they're gone and then have to go talk to, he's talking about going to talk to somebody like me. Make sure you tell them while they're still here. It makes the transition easier sometimes. Sometimes it makes it harder too because they don't want to leave you. He said he was ready. He was tired of he says, bullshit that was going on with his health. He said enough was enough. So I'm just up here kicking it back, enjoying things, feeling nothing but pure love. Nothing to be scared of, nothing to worry about. Kind of like a vacation, he says. For now. Now he says something about a camel and a horse. I almost feel like he's talking like a merry-go-round or a music box or almost like it's a merry-go-round. Could be a toy. It could be the real thing. The last time I saw a merry-go-round, I think carnivals are kind of getting to be a thing of the past. Camel and a horse. So know if you've recently been on a merry-go-round, know that he saw that and he's trying to validate that. Know that, or maybe you're thinking about going to a carnival, or maybe you have a music box thing, or maybe he gave you one when you were little. I'm not sure where he's going with that. He's not saying. Just remember I love you and it'll be all right. I'm always here to have your back. Don't be afraid to call on me. And you'd be amazed what they can do from the other side if you ask them. My guides get frustrated with me because They can't override your free will choice. If I make all the dumb mistakes I want to and I argue with them and they go, Rhonda, why are you doing that? We tell you not to do that. There you go. Because I can. Because it's my free will choice. And they've actually been stopping me from doing something lately, and I'm going, hey, get out of my free will choice. That's my choice, not yours. But they're stopping me from doing something right now. So they can put a little deterrent in there, but they're not supposed to stop your free will choice. So don't know why I was supposed to tell you that. He says, make sure to keep the rubber on the pavement. And he's showing me car tires. I don't think he's giving you a warning of an accident or anything. That I don't feel like there's a danger. I almost feel like it's something that he used to say or something similar to something he used to say. Keep your rubber on the pavement. I don't think that's exactly the way that saying goes. That's the way he's saying it. And keep that candle burning. Don't let anybody blow it out. He's repeating that. You're beautiful just the way you are. Good grief, I'm in the campground and there must be a dozen little bitty kids across the road screaming bloody murder. It's time for you guys to be in school. So if you hear a racket in the background, that's what you're hearing. That school started today. Did back home. Okay, my dear. He says with that he's going to leave, but he says he's actually not leaving. He's going to leave the reading, but he's not leaving you. So talk to him all you want to. He's there. He's listening. And some people say, well, if you talk to him all the time and you miss him all the time, you're keeping him down here when they have other places to go and things to do. No, you're not. You can't tie a rope on pure energy. You can't. They'll do what they need to do and go where they need to go. You're not holding them back from anything that they can't take care of. So much love you, my dear. Thank you for being patient. It's my grandson that lives with us broke both of his legs, so we had quite a few, we had 6 days in the hospital and quite a few doctor's visits and now physical therapy. So it was a little struggle for a few minutes to get my work caught up. So thank you for being patient. And I just took a day off, came to the lake so I could work. Work. I don't get vacation. Okay, much love to you. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Later.